I should have known the cracks started long before that night, long before Rachel ever mistook me for someone who wouldn't fight back. From the first moment I met her, when she hugged me tightly and whispered, "Finally someone I can trust," I believed her warmth, her charm, her confidence, never realizing that behind every smile she was measuring weaknesses, ranking people in invisible categories where she placed me as harmless, someone she thought she could easily manipulate. But the truth began slipping through in quiet moments, half-hidden smirks when my back was turned, subtle insults disguised as jokes, whispers that stopped whenever I entered the room. And though my husband brushed it off as harmless teasing, I could feel something dark growing beneath the surface, a closeness between them that made my ribs tighten, a suspicion I couldn't shake until the day I saw her message on his phone, a photo of her in a low dress followed by the words, "She believe anything, just let her play her part." And in that moment, something inside me turned to ice, not rage, but a cold, steady resolve. So instead of confronting anyone, I observed quietly, collecting every message, every bank transaction, every screenshot and piece of proof they thought I'd never find, all while smiling through dinners and gatherings as if nothing had changed. Because revenge, I learned, isn't fire but precision, slow, careful, deliberate. So I secured my finances, met with a lawyer, crafted my plan, and began planting subtle seeds of doubt about Rachel in our social circle until the night of the dinner arrived, the stage perfectly set, and she walked in with her usual arrogance, ready to mock my cooking, unaware that the meal was catered by her favorite restaurant and that the owner himself was waiting in the next room, listening as she insulted the food until he stepped forward and exposed the cruel voicemail she had left, calling his staff incompetent, shocking everyone at the table, her children staring at her as if seeing her for the first time, my husband frozen in horror, and as Rachel stuttered for excuses, I placed the printed voicemail, the dossier, and the messages between her and my husband on the table, watching their faces crumble as every lie surfaced, and in the controlled silence that followed, I slid the divorce papers across the table already signed, assets secured, custody arranged, ignoring my husband's desperate whisper and Rachel's trembling attempts to speak, which the restaurant owner swiftly cut off, and as I stood and left them in their shock, walking into the cold December night, the snow glistening under the streetlights like a fresh start, I realized that revenge is not a blaze that consumes, but an ice that fractures slowly, silently, and precisely, leaving behind a clean break. And with each breath in the freezing air, I felt the calm power of reclaiming a life they had tried to rewrite, proving that the stillness before the storm can be far more devastating than the storm itself.